you can't hear me, that's your fault. So feel free, come on forward.
Come on in close, everyone.
Oh, okay. But there's still, okay. Sounds good. So welcome everybody. This is really a fantastic day to be here in New Brighton. And obviously the weather cooperated for us in just a remarkable way. So thank you very much for being here. You know, I'm going to tell you a little story and then I'll introduce you to the artist and she can go through the process about how all of this came about. But when I first started out as mayor, one of the things that I used to have discussions with the city manager, Dean Lauder, was how wonderful New Brighton is, but how we could be more inclusive and be more welcoming to our community. New Brighton's a wonderful place, but you know, sometimes we get lost in the fact that many of us leave the community to go to work and we come back and we've been often told that we're this hidden treasure. Well, let's share that hidden treasure. So our Economic Development Commission came up with a resolution that we passed in the council chambers, but the resolution was about forming a sense of place, identifying who New Brighton is and what we want to be. And then we took that one step further and we set up an inclusive community task force. And we did this about a year and a half ago. And the inclusive community task force had the directive of finding out how we could be more welcoming to anybody in our community, whether they lived here or visited here, whether they were old or young, brown, white, poor, rich, handicapped, you know, different economic levels. That was all important to us because we want every single person to be welcomed here in New Brighton. So then our Inclusive Community Task Force came up with a number of ideas, and one of those ideas was, and also the Economic Commission, their ideas were to start adding art into the community. And what better way to add art into our community than to include the community in designing the art, painting the art, and putting it on our community center. That, my friends, is community. So there's a lot of people we get to thank, but I'm going to turn it over to you first, Pam. And why don't you tell them a little bit about the process and what all of this was about, and then we'll come back to me. That's the hint. Okay. Because there's no real agenda here. We'll do some more things. So okay. I'd like to introduce you to our artist. This is Pam Sukhum, and Pam has local roots. You live in Arden Hills?
I grew up in Arden Hills.
Grew up in Arden Hills. Okay. So there's some local roots here, and we're really happy about that. That gave us an even better sense of community and a better connection. So I'll turn it over to you, Pam.
Wonderful. Everyone, thank you so much for coming out here today for this celebration of the completion of the mural. And I have so many thanks to give for this mural. So if it's okay, I'll start with that. So I want to thank, of course, the Mayor Johnson and City Council for the support of this project. These types of public art projects are so important everywhere in the world. So for them to take the leadership and to say, yes, we need this in New Brighton and we're going to help make this possible, I think is a wonderful thing that they've done for New Brighton as a community, but honestly just for all communities to set this type of example. I'd also like to thank Craig Schlicking, who I've known since he was in 5th grade, for championing this project and putting a lot of faith and trust in me and all of us and the beautiful project team to work with a 30-foot high wall to create the mural. I'd also like to thank Becca Nelson for her tireless, and I mean tireless, efforts in terms of coordinating and making things possible. I'd like to thank also Director Fink and Abby and Bill from the community center here for really helping us with the everyday, just meeting all of our needs so easily to make this process so smooth. I'd like to thank my beautiful project team, and if the team could each raise their hand to just let yourself be known. I know you're all shy. I'm looking at you. Thank you. Many of which I've had the pleasure of knowing for over 10 years. And our youngest member is Aria, who will not want to raise her hand, but I want to acknowledge her. She is actually a high school student at Irondale High School, and it's just been amazing and wonderful, and such a good and inspiring example for young people. And of course, I want to thank the over 100, literally, people, including the kids here at CPY, and other youth groups, as well as so many people from the city and the community that lent their hands and hearts to this project. It's just been amazing and wonderful. And for all of you that also supported the project and appreciate it, because art needs both creators and appreciators alike to become whole, to become full, for the experience to become whole. So for all of you showing up today as both creators and appreciators, and maybe some of both, I thank you all for being here, and it's just so wonderful and important. So thank you all. So to share a little background and process with you about the piece, we really wanted the community to be involved from the very beginning. So we actually worked with about 40 kids in the classroom from CPY, that's Community Partners in Youth here in New Brighton, a wonderful organization. And we asked the kids to draw what was most important to them, what they felt was beautiful in the world, what they wanted to share with their community. And then we took those ideas and created this design out of the inspiration of that. And what I found so amazing was, like, there were so many images of nature and the natural beauty around us. And I thought, how perfect is that with New Brighton, because of the priority of the green spaces here. And so it just felt like it was so cohesive, so perfect. And then, as you can see, the beautiful tree emerged. And a lot of people have asked, what does the tree represent? And I always say with art, you know, it represents whatever each person sees in it. But for me personally, it's perfect for New Brighton, because the tree, in my mind, represents the strong foundation. And we have this root system that goes far below the earth. And much of it we cannot even see, but it's interwoven and interconnected in the way that we are interwoven and interconnected. And it is this strong foundation that really gives us the ability to continue to grow and expand in infinite directions. And I thought, what a perfect and fitting symbol for the city of New Brighton in its spirit of inclusivity and expansion. And so, and so after sketching the design in place, we had, amazingly enough, we had over 70 adults from the community and 40 children help come together day after day for the last 3 weeks to create the imagery that you see behind you. So this is the largest mural of its type in the state of Minnesota. There are larger murals, but typically in a mural this size, you'll see it's either 1 or 2 artists, or maybe a very small group of artists that paint the mural, and it's usually done with spray paint and airbrush. This mural was literally hand-painted by members of the community. And I just wanted to show you some of my props here. These are literally the sizes of the brush. How many of you can remember using this size brush? Yeah? And to me, this is just a testament to show that everybody, regardless of experience, regardless of background, of expertise, has a unique gift to bring to their community. And we each do our part to create something that is so much grander than us, something much more than we could ever imagine. And we see it here in person, working with all of us together. So for me, personally, that is such a joy and an honor to witness and be a part of. And that's the power of these community art projects, or community projects in general. So again, I want to thank you for all of your hands and hearts in this. Also, to include, we have the mural, and then we have, as you can see behind here, the beginnings of a gorgeous garden rock program, so that we can continue to expand the reach of this project and to include more and more people. So people are welcome to take river rocks. They can take them home with them. They can be brought to community centers where each person can paint their individual rock and add it to the garden, so that it will be continually alive and evolving, as art should always do. So this mural and this rock garden is dedicated to all of you in the community of New Brighton and all that visit and are inspired by it. And thank you again for this opportunity, everyone. It's been a thrill and a joy for all of us. Thank you.